Y'all, Austin McBroom announced that him and his girlfriend, y'all, the way that I cannot say her name because this is my second time already making this damn intro right here because every single time that I say Alexa, my device, y'all know which one obviously, will pop off and like start playing music because every single time that I say that name, like she starts doing something weird, okay? I'm like, she'll turn on the TV, literally, like, start blasting music. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, why are you so easily triggered? Like, we're gonna need you to simmer on down, girl. But anyways, he announced that him and his girlfriend did break up. I gotta keep it with you guys, okay? One, I don't know too much about her. Actually, if I'm being honest with you guys, I don't know anything about her. But then two, y'all know that I didn't even know that he was in a relationship because if I'm keeping it so real with you guys, I really don't look at Austin McBroom's life, you know, like I don't look at his Snapchats. I don't even know if he still does YouTube, but I don't look at his YouTubes. Like I just don't follow anything that he does because, and I know this sounds rude, okay, but I'm just keeping it real. Like I've just never liked him. Like he's just always rubbed me the wrong way and he's always just kind of like irked me, you know what I mean? And I just feel like all of the things that he would do before, even before his whole cancellation and everything, I was like, I do not like him. Like y'all could go back on my videos from years ago. Like I literally was like, I don't know why he just rubs me the wrong way. Like every single time I'm like, I just don't know why. I just don't like this man. Okay, so I do avoid his content, okay? However, whenever he's in some drama, of course, y'all know me. I'm messy. I'm nosy. I'm just all up in the business and I'm curious to know like what's going on. So he did, announce that he is going through a breakup, which I think is his first relationship after Catherine, which by the way, speaking of Catherine, okay, if you guys didn't check out my last video to where I was talking about like I thought it was a wholesome moment, okay, because like he was speaking out about Catherine and her getting married, and he did make a comment, okay, within that video. I think it was on Snapchat that he was going on this like, or no, he was on live somewhere because he was reading comments. It was during that time that he was talking about Catherine's new boo, and that he had made a comment something along the lines of like, oh, like they have to get married so that way they could stay together. A lot of people were like already getting pressed about that comment, but I understood where he was coming from with making that comment because obviously I had been in a situation before, dating somebody from another country, and I'm like, well, if we're going to be together for longer than 90 days, I guess we're going to have to get married. We really don't have an option because they make it so damn difficult that you could only see each other for 90 days, which by the way, y'all, working on some laws within this country, can we work on that? Because I think that's really crazy because like if you travel to another country and you like meet somebody and you hit it off with them, but then you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to get married like right now. The fact that they only give you 90 days to see somebody is crazy. Like, y'all, me dating an Italian citizen, like he could only come to America for 90 days and vice versa. I think I could only go over there to Europe for 90 days as well, too. So I'm just kind of like, why? Like 90 days? Like, I just don't quite understand this. And then, you know what's even more crazy? If you guys watch like 90 Day Fiance, the fact that like when you come over here on the spousal visa, you have to get married, like literally you have to get married before the 90 days is up, or else, the person has to go back to their home country, which I'm just like 90 days, like can we at least make it 6 months? You know what I mean? Preferably a year, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, to me that's really soon. And if you guys actually, speaking of 90 Day Fiance, if you guys actually watch 90 Day Fiance, if more of them had a little bit more time, they wouldn't even go through with the marriage. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these people end up getting divorced because they're like, oh damn, everything was just way too fast and way too rushed. So I'm like, what? Like, what's the rush? I just don't get it. But anyways, I understood why he made that comment, but he was also speaking within that video that he was actually excited to go to her wedding, that she actually extended the invite to him because obviously his kids were going to partake in the wedding. I'm assuming one of them would be the flower girl, one of them would be the ring bearer, like, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, oh, it was really cute and wholesome. Come to find out, if you guys didn't read the comments of that video, I guess because of him speaking out about the wedding and everything like that, she uninvited him, which I was like, oh, damn. By the way, I don't even know how people like piece together the information because I didn't see a clip directly from her mouth stating it. I don't know if he ended up saying like, oh, I got invited or whatever, but everybody was saying that it was specifically because of that comment of him saying, oh, well, they have to, get married so that way they could stay together because you guys know he's from a different country, which I was like, I don't even like Austin McBroom, and I was like, I completely understand where he's coming from, but I understand that a lot of people who don't know, more about that topic, and meaning like, oh, well, damn, if you're dating somebody from another country, you could only visit them for a short period of time and vice versa. So it's like, obviously, how do you nurture a relationship? How do you build a relationship? How do you establish a relationship when you can only spend 90 days and it's back and forth to a whole different country? So I'm like, I completely understood like what he was saying. But a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, like this could come across as like, K1 visa fraud or whatever. And I'm like, that's not K1 visa fraud. Like if they're legitimately in a relationship and they're legitimately getting married, do you know what I mean? Everybody, well, not everybody, okay, that's very dramatic, but a lot of people up on 90 Day Fiance, if you guys watch 90 Day Fiance, have stated like, oh, like I wouldn't even be getting married if it wasn't for the 90-day rule. You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, I actually don't even care to get married, but I do want to be with this person. I don't see this person leaving my life, so I guess I'm forced to getting married. You know what I'm saying? Which I totally agree with too. Like, if I'm being honest about myself, like I don't care to ever get married. Like, it's not like something that I'm not I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, like I want to get married. Like, no, it's not like a dream of mine. It's not a goal of mine. So, like, if I met somebody again from another country, like I don't ever care to get married. Do you know what I mean? So it just sucks that if I did meet somebody from another country that I like really love, then I'm like forced to get married if I want to be with them. So that's why I understood what he was saying. But I guess apparently he got the uninvite from that, or maybe he's just being dramatic. Maybe Catherine's being dramatic. I don't really know. Y'all know that they are obviously notorious for their skits and things like that. But anyways, I do want to go ahead and play a clip right here, okay, to where he is opening up about him and his girlfriend breaking up and basically saying that like things were a little bit rushed and that it was like his first relationship, obviously after Catherine, and maybe it was just a little bit too soon. And I was like, oh, well, you know what? It seems like he's being very mature about this. Check it out.
But the truth is, guys, Alexa and I agreed to just be friends. And we both thought it was best. I know there's many people making up rumors on why we're deciding to be friends. Usually when people break up, it is probably impossible to be friends. 9 times out of 10, it is very hard to be friends with someone that you were with and spend a lot of time and energy together. But in our situation, we are doing our best to stay friends. Sometimes don't work out, and that's okay. But when you spend a lot of time and energy, you give your heart, you invest a lot of everything that you have into a person, it is very hard to separate.
I know what's so crazy is I rewatched that clip right now too, and me just playing it on my phone. That bitch over there picked it up and started playing something. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, is there any way, does anybody know if there's any way to change the settings of like not being so, sensitive? Because like, y'all know with like, when it comes down to Siri, you have to like say, hey, and then she'll start, you know what I mean? I'm like, anytime you just say that name, like, oh my gosh, she's over there doing her own damn thing, and I got her hooked up to the TV, so like she'll even be opening up like, stations and stuff, or channels, whatever it's called, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, can you stop? Anyways, I have to say this, what's so crazy is like, I guess I like don't even process this because I obviously don't have kids, but I couldn't even imagine like dating somebody and then obviously knowing when to bring them around your kids. And then when you do bring them around your kids, obviously kids get attached so fast, especially if they really like somebody, that I'm like, oh my gosh, when you go through a breakup, you go through a breakup with the kids too. And I'm like, wait, like, why did I literally just process that right now? That I'm like, oh my gosh, that kind of sucks for their kids, because what if they really like this girl and then now they're breaking up and then bam, So I'm like, oh damn, this is a bad situation. And as you guys seen from right there, like he's basically saying like it's hard for them to be friends, which I gotta keep it with you guys. Like I do believe, okay, and call me crazy on this because I know this may be a hot take, because a lot of people out there are like, no, as soon as you break up with somebody, like you should never be friends with them. But I have remained friends with some people that I have like dated before, because I do think depending upon the situation, if things are not ugly, if things are not toxic or whatever, like I really do think that sometimes you date somebody and you realize, oh wait, I like you as a friend, but I don't like you as a partner, because you have separate expectations of a friendship versus a relationship. And I think that there's no problem with that. You know what I mean? I know that's a hot take, because I do know there's a lot of people out there that are like, absolutely not. Like, no, like, you can't be friends, which I totally get too, but I'm different in that way. However, I don't know, for him saying like, oh, it's like, probably impossible, you know what I mean? But he's going to try to be friends or whatever. And I think that obviously the kids may have a factor in that. Anyways, y'all, I do want to go to play another clip, okay? Because this is like the main thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because obviously I know, my audience is primarily female. So I'm just always so curious, okay, about like topics like this, because you guys are going to hear him talk about like, oh, people, obviously already starting to spread rumors. And of course, the first thing that I heard was, oh, Austin McBroom was cheating again. You guys are going to hear him say like, obviously, because I cheated before, like that's going to be, a speculation. But he is saying that no, he did not cheat on her, which I'm like, the real reason why I wanted to even make this video is just to ask you girls out there, like, do y'all believe, okay, say for example, here I'm giving you guys like a hypothetical over here. I'm giving you a hypothetical scenario. Say for example, you dated a guy, okay, and let's just say within the first, month or 2 months, he opened up to and said, hey, like, I just want to let you know, I did cheat on my partner numerous amounts of times. How do y'all feel about that? Like, would you guys be like open to it? Would you guys be judgmental of it? Do you guys believe that once a cheater, always a cheater, and that person will just like always cheat? Or like, how do you guys feel about that? Because I gotta tell you guys, like, sometimes for me, I'm like, oh damn, like, okay, let me be real, okay? My ex took about a year to tell me that he cheated on his ex. I was like, and y'all, I got so sketched out because I was sitting over here like, why would you take a year to tell me that? And like I feel like he almost accidentally stated it. So I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Like, I didn't really have trust issues within him. And then as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, this whole entire time, like, why didn't you tell me that? We talked about you and your ex. Like, why did it take you a year? Actually, to be honest with you guys, I think it was over a year for him to tell me. And like I said, it kind of like slipped out. He didn't even like say it like in a way like, hey, like, I wanted to tell you. It like slipped out. He was like, oh yeah, from like when I cheated on my ex. I was like, you cheated on your ex? What? Like, you never said that. You know what I mean? Because I gotta keep it real with you guys. Like, I do believe that people can learn, and grow and change and obviously not make, repeated mistakes. However, I don't ever have it in me to cheat on somebody. Like, y'all, I couldn't sleep at night. Like, I just don't have it in my conscience. I literally could not sleep. I am that type of person that, like, things replay over and over and over again in my head. So I'm like, I don't even have it in me. So the fact that I'm like, you could cheat, I don't know, y'all. So I'm really curious to know your guys' opinion on this, especially dealing with somebody like Austin McBroom. Check this clip out right here.
Keep asking, like, what was the reason or why did you guys break up? And I know there's going to be rumors about me cheating because I've cheated in the past, and that's not true. Nothing in the relationship like made us separate. It was just when you're going down two different paths, she has a lot that she wants to accomplish in her life. Like, she's a hustler, and she's young to where she has so many years. I have so many years ahead of her that things I've already experienced. So she still has things that she wants to experience and do. And I've always told her, like, I'm here to help and support. And, for me, as you guys know, like, very early on, me being new and thrown out into the ocean, I had to figure out how to balance out, my kids and a relationship.
So there y'all saw from right there. He's saying he knows that there's going to be rumors because he cheated in the past, which low-key, y'all, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't even think that I could date somebody who, like, is like a public figure who has openly, admitted to cheating. And then obviously we ended up finding out it was like with multiple women. You know what I'm saying? You know what's so crazy is, like, maybe in my head, okay, and call me crazy for this, and maybe this is a controversial or a hot take, you know what I mean? But I almost feel like I could forgive somebody if, say, for example, they were tipsy and, like, they made out with somebody at a bar. Which, don't get me wrong, I still would have my trust issues after that, and I still would be pressed, you know what I'm saying? But however, I think in time, I would end up being able to realize, like, oh, you were completely trashed and obviously not in your right state of mind, and you just, like, made out with them, you know what I mean? However, when you're full on having affairs with people, that's when I'm like, oh, that's scary that you could full on live a double life. Like, things like that, to where you could, like, literally, have different people and different, different hoes and different area codes. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I'm just like, whoa, I don't know about that, y'all. So I'm really curious to know how y'all feel about that, because I have known, several people who have forgiven their partners for cheating. And I'm just like, am I just like a really cut off person? Like, am I just really, I don't know, stern? Am I too prideful? Do I got too much of an ego? Do you know what I mean? Because, like, for me, I'm like, oh no. And you know what's so crazy? It's not even necessarily that I'm coming from like a judgmental place of view, but I just feel that me, because I can be a big time overthinker, that I just wouldn't even feel comfortable, if I found out that my partner cheated. Like, here I am saying, like, maybe in the future, like, I could forgive somebody if they, like, got tipsy at a club or whatever. It would be a hot minute. Like, it would be one of those things of, like, maybe a year or 2 years down the road. Maybe then I could forgive it. You know what I'm saying? But we're definitely going to break up immediately, because I just felt like it would be unfair for the person. It would be unfair for me, because honestly, y'all, like, I literally would be over here like, are you really at work right now? Oh, you're going to go have dinner? You're having dinner with your friend? Are you really having dinner? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I already know that I'm going to overthink everything. So that's why, to me, I would just cut it off. But what I'm saying is, when I had, mentioned earlier, like, oh, maybe in the future, is like, how they say, like, right person, wrong time. And sometimes people are in a relationship and then they break up, and then a year or 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years down the road, they end up back together. I feel like maybe then I could forgive it, because maybe then I could be like, okay, you know what? I seen a change of behavior in you and blah, 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 whatever the case may be. You guys get what I'm getting at here. You know what I'm saying? However, with Austin, I'm just like, clearly this girl knows that you done cheated on Catherine a lot. Anyways, I do want to go to play one last clip right here, to where he is saying that he is not even thinking about dating, and he's like retired from dating, which, Yeah, you don't just hop around from cheating on your wife with like 10 women and then hop into another relationship and then just give up dating. Maybe he's being politically correct and maybe he just doesn't want to say that he's going to like give up being a hoe. But I'm like, we all know that he's going to be a hoe and we all know that he's probably going to be out there on, what's that dating app, Raya or whatever, where them like popular people go on. Check this out.
I'm not even looking to date. I'm retiring.
So yeah, I'm really curious to see if he is going to not be dating, y'all. I don't care what. I'm sure that man is still just gonna be hoeing around, which is totally fine. Hey, if he's single, he has no commitment to somebody, you know what I mean? Good for him. Because you know what I always say? I always appreciate when I'm like talking to somebody if they specifically say, I do not want a relationship and I'm just looking to date. I'm looking to have fun. Cool. Like I always tell all of my homegirls too, respect it. Like when a man could be transparent and be like, I am just looking to have fun. I don't want to have any type of commitment and I don't see myself having commitment for a while or ever. You know, I'm like, I could really admire that and appreciate, you know, when people do that because a lot of men are dogs, okay? And they'll have you believing whatever, you know what I mean? Like they'll literally have you thinking like you're the only one. They'll have you thinking like, oh my gosh, like there's a future for us. And all along they're like, hell to the no. It's like so many men just, you know, want their cake and to eat it too, which is just not fair. So if he does decide to go out there and be a little hoe, good for him, as long as he's not in a committed relationship in my eyes. Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.